Welcome to the Blockbusters and Birdwalks podcast. I am the curator, Garrett Chaffin-Quiray. Today we have a conversation with a friend, Ed Rosa.
That's me. Hi. My filmmaking partner and I have a YouTube channel, Toothless Richard Productions, where you can see a number of our short films.
Nature can kill us. Nature is bigger than us. But nature is also a playground where very skillful storytellers can describe wonderful things. People as meat is high on mind for me, and I like those kinds of stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
You pitched me Triangle of Sadness, and I'm glad that you did, because it's one of those titles from 2022 that just washed right out of my life too fast. Because there was a lot of stuff that came out.
Yeah, it was a bit of an art house release, and we're not the most art house friendly city.
And it's a long movie. It has a big critical reputation. My thumbnail statement is, it's not really a very good movie. Not really at all. However, the whole thing builds towards this really, really repulsive sequence that I want to come back to, which is the revenge of nature.
Oh my God! Oh, please!
Triangle of Sadness is a story in 3 parts that is a satire of modern wealth. The point of view characters are 2 young models, a woman and a man. Yaya is her name, and she out-earns him by a factor of 3, we're told repeatedly. They're both beautiful, they're both young, they're very easy on the eyes. The first chapter is the 2 of them coming to terms with the fact that gender discrepancy in their pay is something she's working on him on purpose to make him pay his way, because she's eventually looking for a sugar daddy, and he wants love. The second chapter, we go onto a yacht where, as an influencer, she's won free admission. And everybody on the yacht are these grotesquely rich people, lording it over the service staff who are there just to say yes and make everything possible for these richy riches.
Well, because there's money for them.
Because they might get a big tip if it all goes well at the end of the journey. Partway through this trip on the yacht, the second chapter, there's a terrible storm at sea. They're buffeted horribly by the ocean, which results in a lot of vomit and a lot of poop because the septic system of the ship overflows while everybody's making a mess.
Well, also it's hinted at that because the rich folks made all of the staff go swim for a half hour, that the oysters, spoiled.
And so they're made extra sick by the food.
Right. So there's the proverbial motion of the ocean. But then there's also foodborne illness. I think is what's being hinted at.
And precisely because that's what happens at, I'd say, just over the hour mark, halfway through this movie. You just can't believe these performers were willing to be almost literally swimming around in so much brown and yellow and green waste.
It's pretty amazing.
It's amazing. Day breaks after this terrible crisis, the sea goes calm, and then ocean-going pirates attack and blow up the yacht. Third chapter is the small group of survivors find themselves on this island where the social structure is reversed, because the only person who knows how to survive and find food and get clean water is the toilet manager from the yacht.
Literally, they keep going, you're the toilet manager.
Right. And the movie concludes with this toilet manager and that young woman, Yaya, taking a giant hike over the mountain that seems to divide the island, only to discover the other side of it is, in fact, a resort for richy riches. Whereupon it appears, we have to interpret the conclusion, it appears that the toilet manager kills Yaya, bludgeons her with a boulder, and her boyfriend is seen running through a forest, we presume not to safety, but away from harm. At least that's how I read it. The movie's social read, that rich people lose track of reality, is obvious and on the nose. There are moments that are very funny, but in the end, I found myself impatient with the whole movie because I feel as if I've seen that satirical take on how the rich function over the top of all of the rest of us, and I don't include myself in the rich. I'm middle class and doing fine as long as I'm employed, and that's the distinction. The rich people in this thing are business owners, and they talk about that at some length, what they established, what they built, what feeds them their money, but they do not work anymore. And
Yeah.
that puts them at a remove from all of the people giving them food, wiping their faces, probably cleaning their backsides, but certainly cleaning their toilets, making their beds, and making their lives livable on this yacht and otherwise. Triangle of sadness.
Yeah.
Have I represented the story and its basic themes properly?
So I'm not very good at this stuff about being smart and being able to figure out subtext and stuff. But at first, that's kind of what I thought. But then, because this was the third time that I've seen it.
Okay.
Because I saw it in the theaters, flipped out, had to take my girlfriend to see it, and then it left theaters. Criterion put the Blu-ray out, but I haven't bought it yet. And then I was like, oh, okay, we'll get to watch this for Revenge of Nature. Because I thought, for Revenge of Nature 2, I thought this actually kind of is about that, on a number of different levels. I think that read is possible. But then, the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, in some ways, the film actually takes a somewhat sympathetic view towards some of the Richers. Take, for example, the elderly couple who made their fortune creating weapons of war.
Right,
Specifically
grenades
the hand
and the
grenade.
like, yeah.
They seemed super duper nice. In fact, especially with that couple in particular, because when they die, right, spoiler alert, she picks up this hand grenade that the terrorists or that Barkhad
pirates,
Abdi has thrown onto the boat.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, look, it's one of ours.
Yeah.
Right? Just to suggest that perhaps, these people are so wealthy that in a way they should be pitied because that extreme wealth distances them from actual reality, that they're almost childlike or something. Because I haven't seen Östlund's other movies, but I've been wanting to see Force Majeure, right?
Force Majeure is the only other one that I have seen, and it has a real resemblance. I think it must be a tone or a worldview that he's got. That movie is also set among a richer clientele of character. It's at a Swiss ski lodge.
Yeah,
where an avalanche nearly kills everybody, but doesn't. But the actions the people who are our point of view characters take when they think they're about to die has repercussions through the rest of the story.
Right.
And that's important because they have a superficial understanding of what they are, who they are, how they're going to behave. And when they encounter the truth, they can't kind of handle what's really happening. And they recoil from it. It's repugnant.
Yeah.
Well, you're bringing to mind here about we should maybe pity these Richards as they're on the ship. There's a note, right? When it's clear that this yacht, and this is the second of the 3 chapters, it's clear that this yacht is in some trouble because they've done some really interesting camera tricks to have the sway of a yawing boat going back and forth. It's a little nauseating to look at. The vertical lines start to switch around. A lot of objects fall onto the floor and roll across the ship. It's really kind of ominous, and there's music that just every now and then gives you a little cue, and you hear the creak of the ship.
When Woody Harrelson walks, he's, his body is slightly canted.
Well, and he's the captain of the ship, and so he's a real get. A nice American actor that I have responded to since I got over the fact he used to be on Cheers, and I can now see him in other things.
Especially in this, I just thought I just wanted to watch him over and over.
Coincidentally, the missus and me, we're working our way through Downton Abbey right now. And I was kicking and screaming to avoid it for years. But now that I've sunk my teeth into it, I just think it's fantastic. Okay. I'm finally discovering what everybody enjoyed 15 years ago because I'm enjoying it too. And a lot of what that show is about, which reflects on what this movie is presenting, is while the rich can be ridiculous... Like Nutella being delivered by helicopter.
Yeah, in a Pelican case.
So it won't sink and it's water. It's just silly. So while all of that's true, there is also something that's really nice about their refinements because they are trying to maintain the surface of calm and the idea that there are courtesies we visit on one another. Example. The ship is pitching and yawing, but they're going to have a state dinner because it's the captain's dinner. Everybody's looking forward to it, but nobody really wants to do it.
Well, and because also, too... She, I forget the character's name, who's kind of like the chief stew. She's asking him what day he wants to do the captain's dinner, and she's like, any day but Thursday. And he's like, Thursday's good? And she's like, no, there's a low front coming in. She warned, she's trying to this is gonna,
it's bad weather.
Right, not a good day to do the dinner.
And of course she's perfectly correct, but it happens.
But he's like, nope, Thursday's the day.
So the guests begin to arrive for this dinner when it's clearly queasy kind of circumstances, and they're just dressed to the nines. They can't give up on what this experience might be. And the food that begins getting delivered from the kitchen...
Horrifying.
it's also fine dining. It's put in
Right.
counterpoint because the captain has a burger and
The
fries.
burger and fries, yep.
Because he does not like fine dining. But we see these plated meals, another little bubble that shows up. This movie was released in the same season as The Menu.
Yeah.
Which I did go see, and I did find charming. It has a limited satire. It has a limited critique.
Yeah.
Also, but I liked it better.
Oh, that's funny. I actually liked this one better.
Okay.
I enjoyed them both, but I found this one to be slightly more interesting, like, after I left the theater.
Okay.
Whereas I didn't think The Menu was, like, chewing on quite as much.
To extend the point in this dining scene, everybody there seated for their weird meals with all their unusual food, the tentacles, all the body parts of various kinds of
that
fish.
see-through gelatin.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's made
look,
from hooves, you know.
It doesn't look exactly appetizing, but it also looks exquisite. Except the boat keeps shifting
Right,
around.
and you see them starting to look like queasy, which makes the food look a little more repulsive, weirdly.
I don't know the name of the character, but she ends up occupying one of the promotional posters. The sort of blonde.
It's the wife. It's
the wife of the Russian
Zlatko
oligarch?
Burich's wife.
Okay.
Right, because he's got the wife and then like the
girlfriend?
mistress.
Yeah,
and she's just kind of fine with his drinking champagne like all day, every day.
So this secondary character becomes pivotal to the scene because she's dressed in this really glorious nightgown. She's a very pretty middle-aged woman with kind of blonded, sort of bronzed hair. And she's served this meal, it doesn't matter what, but the ship around her is moving. The camera is shifting around to demonstrate the wave action. And she asks for wine. She drinks the wine.
Champagne.
She drinks her champagne. And then she projectile vomits right over the left side of the camera.
And the acting is really great too because it's like, oh no, I've done that before. That's exactly what it looks like and feels like when I would have it.
It's revolting, just absolutely gross. And because that kind of kicks it off, it's not unlike the pie-eating vomit.
Right,
scene,
Stand By Me. Yeah, the lard ass.
everybody starts to get
right.
sick.
Yeah,
altogether.
Barfarama. Right, a
Right.
peristaltic chain reaction.
I can't stop laughing. It's so
It's
gross.
hilarious.
The other diners are still trying to tuck
Right,
in.
and so is the staff. The staff's like, oh, ginger candy,
Yeah.
like, oh no, that's okay.
More wine, sir.
Nature wins, whether it's food poisoning, wave action, the combination
Right.
thereof, too much drinking, too much of everything. But they won't give up this ritual. And there's something valuable about rich folks who can pay for the ritual that provides work to other people to support the ritual.
Job creators.
It is job
They're
creation.
not richers, they're job creators.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should thank them.
And
we
I
should
become
thank all of
sympathetic
them.
about that, right? Like this Downton Abbey thing. That's exactly the whole reason why that estate exists, to give purpose to the 3 or 4 dozen people who work for it, and spend a lifetime earning their keep and saving money,
Right.
Because they're working people,
Right.
And for the rich people that they help, it gives them a hell of a lifestyle, but they're mutually trapped. And I guess that's what this movie began to shape for me with your comments. It's not just
Right.
a critique of richness,
Right.
We think we're empowered. No, we're not.
Right.
We think we're powerless. No, we're not. And that dial keeps going back and forth, kind of violently.
Right. I think obviously I'm not pals with Ruben Östlund. I can't just like text him right now to find out. But I think he's like Stanley Kubrick in that he just is kind of really fascinated with human behavior, and that perhaps he's not trying to necessarily make any like real heavy like concrete points or like judgments about like wealth or class or status or anything. But it's just sort of more an examination of like the human animal under glass, kind of. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like it's like having an ant farm, or it isn't like AOC wearing a tax the rich dress to the Met Gala.
Yeah. It's not ha ha ha. It's a lot of that. It's a real slow grind. There are a couple of really terrific gimmicks in this movie, and one of them is attached to the opening experience. Yaya is her boyfriend is Carl, and Carl is shown in just a big meat hall of other young beautiful men trying to get a job.
Yeah, right. He's like the slave auction or whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
it totally is that.
Hey there.
What's up, man?
So, I want to know, did your parents support you in being a male model?
All the way, right from the start.
Even your father?
Even my father, yeah. Why?
So he wanted you to enter this industry where you earn only 1/3 of the women, and where you constantly have to maneuver homosexual men who want to sleep with you?
You mentioned that Östlund's thing seems to be putting glass over people and staring at them. Ant Farm was a good analysis there. You're just staring to the point of it being boring, but then something interesting happens. The eye of Östlund in this movie takes a long time to let some of the situations become funny or gross, or perhaps both, like in the vomitorium scene on board ship in the second chapter. He doesn't cut away the way that most filmmakers would probably leave a scene. He lets you just linger in something. There's a great example of this. There is, I want to say they're a German couple who are lining up to meet the captain at a meet and greet. The woman in this couple approaches the captain and says,
Yesterday, I was up on deck.
Yes.
And it was so beautiful. Everything was fantastic. But then I saw the sails.
The sails?
The sails, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were dirt gray. Do you think it's possible to wash them?
Well, I don't think that's possible, ma'am, because this is a motorized vessel.
Yeah.
So we don't have any sails.
Maybe it was the sun deck roof?
What? Are you sure?
I'm sure.
and she can't take the information. And then he realizes, oh, okay.
We will clean the sails.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
It's not funny, except that it really is.
Yeah.
That kind of funny. And he's got a real touch for that, which requires durée. I've been real fond of some French terms of late, and that's one. Because when you watch a sequence of events without cutting away from them, you're watching exquisite performance, great blocking, and also a willingness to tease time and just let it sit. That's used throughout the movie as a punctuation for the way that the sequences build. And it's really quite good. I'm terribly impressed with it as a craft choice. Are there favorite moments that, if I say triangle of sadness, boom, light bulb, these things come up?
Every scene with Woody Harrelson, right off the bat, I just find his character to be really interesting, and just his performance is so good. The first time I think we actually physically see him, and like they get him out of his cabin. One of the greatest moments at the end of that little conversation where he's having the conversation with like the second mate or something, and he's asking Woody Harrelson like if he's okay, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm perfectly fine, and then he just like winks real quickly, like, as if to say, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
right? Because then he does it later on. He does it when he's having a conversation with one of the Richards at the captain's dinner, like the same way.
Yeah,
because and this time he's lying.
It's a small little actor's touch.
Yes,
I doubt it was in the script, but probably working through scenes, they went, I can add a little something.
Right.
Here. And he's got that glorious big old beard.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
Yeah.
And so I just, man, and it's so funny because, like, I think of him so much with this movie, but really, I mean, how long is he actually in it? 10 minutes?
Yeah, he doesn't
15 minutes?
have a large, but it's a helpful part.
Yeah, we lose him by the time we get to he must have, died somehow when the ship
he doesn't
explodes,
survive, right? He doesn't shipwreck onto the island with the others.
So there's that. Another one of the things I really liked is I just thought there was like a lot of truth to like the first part. The conversation that Harris Dickinson and Charles B. Dean have over the bill at the restaurant.
Right, Yaya and Carl, right.
It's so true, right?
Oh, we could split the bill if you like.
No.
I can whip out a calculator and we can...
No, okay, you need to...
How many glasses of wine did you have?
Oh, sure,
you had like 3
shut
more,
up.
right?
Okay, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, I think it all evens out,
Don't you remember last night you said you were gonna pay for food today? At the end of the meal you said, thanks, tomorrow I'll get it.
Sure, but then you picked up the bill and I thought you wanted to pay, so I said, thank you, honey.
Okay, but it was there for such a long time, I mean...
Oh, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't. I didn't see it, or I didn't notice it. We were just having a nice dinner.
You didn't see the bill when it got put on the table?
No, I didn't call.
And then at the end, finally, they break down and they're honest with each other. And she says, yeah, of course I know that it landed. Of course I know that it's here. But of course I'm not going to pay. You're a man.
Right.
And I need a man who will pay because what if I should get, she says, what if I should fall pregnant? Great turn of phrase.
Right.
What if I should fall pregnant? I lose my whole job and I need somebody who will pay for my life.
Your job's done. It's over.
And then I think he resolves it by, I think you're going to learn to love me. This is doubly valuable because in the third chapter, when they're shipwrecked, they do survive and make it to the island. Dolly picks him out of the lineup as her sex slave.
Right. Who is she going to pick?
Because he's hot. He's hot, right? And so she sort of holds up with him in nightly cavorts, and they boink and all the rest because she has fish and she has water and she wants sex from him. He is a servicer of this primary matriarch.
She controls the means of production.
And at that point of the show, Yaya, who's at first quite angry with Abigail for having reversed the whole social hierarchy they're used to, begins to suck up and then believe in matriarchy. Mm-hmm. You've established a woman-led world. You did it!
Right.
And she's celebrating her just before they cross over the mountain to discover they can be freed. And then Abigail kills her because, you can't have a revolution happen in the matriarchy just like you can in the patriarchy.
I did like that touch, though, of not being totally sure. Because at that last moment, when Yaya
Abigail's she's got the rock in her hands.
And she stops and you can see the pre-remorse in her eyes. She doesn't want to do it. The illusion that they truly are stranded on a remote desert island a la Gilligan's Island, it's over with, no matter whether she kills Yaya or not.
I asked that question about the scenes or the moments that stick with you because there are a few that stick with me. And to me, they're like little sweeteners that I can cling to and say this movie has greatness in it, despite, for me, not being great. One of them is once the shipwrecked group, I think it's 8, begin to become three-dimensional characters because you spend a little time getting to know them.
Right.
The German-speaking woman who is she's
a stroke victim.
Right. So the left half of her body does not work, and she develops a rapport with the engine mate, who is also there, and they're talking back and forth. And we learn from their conversation that he's figured out a way to communicate with her and ask if she's ever traded sex for a personal advantage. And she, of course, denies this. And then she admits once.
Right.
That's really nice. It's a little character-driven moment. And again, that's a long take, them sitting on a life raft on a beach with a respite from the other concerns they've got. At night, there are wild animal sounds. They don't have enough to eat or drink. But this is a moment when they're temporarily sated because Abigail has fed everybody.
Right.
And they're just having some privacy just to sort of hang out. It's recognizable that people will offer odd truths, which are really stunning because you're learning somebody.
Right.
And that's great. You want to learn somebody, especially if you're literally trapped with them the way that these people are.
Yeah, what else are you going to do? Well, and that's the thing too, the film does get kind of sweet in parts, and that's when they're on the island. There's a moment in it that's really great when Zlatko Buric, is that how you pronounce it?
Dmitry, right, the Russian. I sell shit!
Right.
He's a fertilizer guy.
The ship is going down. When the corpse of his wife, who was the champagne lady,
wonderful moment,
washes up on shore, and he's grieving, holding her in his arms. And then he stops, and he takes the gigantic rock off of her finger, and then returns to his grief. I thought that was just great.
Well, I want to just, again, sing the praise of that actress who plays Dimitri's wife, this oligarch, the one who spews all of the champagne vomit. But there's this truly pitiful scene when we close out of the terrible night aboard this ship.
And she's in the bathroom.
She's in the bathroom, and the toilet water has come up through the bottom of the ship. And she's just
slamming against the wall.
I don't think she's
slides back and forth across the floor.
In all of this filth.
Yeah.
All of this filth. And I think she's bottomless because it's like one of those decisions.
She's like going to slip or something,
Which end is going to be the
both.
The business. Right. You can't choose because you're just making
a choice. Especially with foodborne illness.
It's so decadently overdone in how disgusting it is. I just thought, mwah. And she just issues these creature sounds of just complete surrender. Your body is just not yours to command.
Right, it's out of your hands.
Rolling all of this together, the Triangle of Sadness is definitely about how we as humans believe that we can, as good modernists do, assert our humanity over nature and control everything, put it on a leash. But the trouble is, the natural world's order, whatever it might be, will always talk back,
right.
And it's bigger than us.
Right. It's like it's Mother Nature's world. We're just being allowed to play in it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Push come to shove, our dominant nature shows up. And what becomes interesting about that is these kings of industry, like Dmitri, the fertilizer king of Central Europe, he's made it. He's done the thing that's made him truly grotesquely wealthy. But in the end, this little Filipina, Abigail, just lords over him. I can feed you or not.
Who am I? You're the toilet manager. No. Hindi toilet manager here. Captain, who am I?
You're the captain.
Yes.
This is Blockbusters and Birdwalks, a conversation between Garrett Chaffin-Quiray and
Ed Rosa.
Boop boobity doo.